Jordo here. Hello, everybody. And today I'm going to kind of show you how to set up a dispersal draft on Sleeper. Essentially, what you want this to do is if you have multiple orphans in your league and one or more of those teams is just really bad and it's really hard to get somebody in that's going to want to spend their money on this team when it could legitimately look like a 4, 5, 6 year rebuild. I mean, this is like, say someone comes in, which we know people do it all the time, and they draft a team of all old guys. They don't win in 2 years, or they do, and then they leave. Team's old, they're retired, they're unsigned free agents in their 30s, and there's just not much to build around. What you'll do is you'll do the dispersal draft. So all the orphan teams players, their rosters will be wiped, and they'll be put into a draft pool. What you'll do is you'll include the orphan team's draft picks. You will not reverse trades if their draft picks were traded. You'll do all the available picks for the orphans with kickers. So basically, you'll add kickers to the player pool. First kicker off the board, 101. First kicker off the board. Second kicker off the board is the second pick. So say 101, 102, 105. They'll go in that order. So first kicker 101, second kicker 102, etc. You'll also want to ask existing members if they want to join, and if they do not, then their rosters won't be touched. First thing you want to do is lock all free agent and waiver moves, just so no one can pick up the players once they've been dropped. The next thing you're going to want to do when setting this up is scroll around, I guess, because sometimes I scroll a lot until I find what I'm looking for in this app. But you're going to want to lock all the rosters of the teams not involved in the dispersal draft. So, for example, we're going to use Gillespie, Z, and Geo as the orphan teams. The next thing you're going to want to do is go into the league tab, and you want everybody to drop their extra players on their rosters to make sure the player pool in the draft is as full as it can be. So you'll go in, click on a name, and make sure that all of these rosters are to the size they need to be before the draft. The next thing you're going to do is go into member settings and assign the new users to their orphan teams. Pretty simple to do. The next step after you get done doing this is you're going to want to scroll over to the commish tab and go into edit rosters. You want to go to drop players and drop the entire roster for each orphan team, just like this. You just check all of them off, hit continue, confirm, drops their whole team. You're going to do this for all 3 orphan teams. What this will do is it will add all the players into the draft pool, which you will see coming up in a minute. You can also, this is where you would do it if someone from your league did want to join the dispersal. You would also use this opportunity to wipe their roster as well. You cannot wipe the draft picks. So again, that's why we use the kickers, and we just assign those draft picks after the draft based off what kicker was drafted, right? So the 102, might be the best pick in the draft. First kicker is 102. 104 is the next one. Second kicker is 104, etc. Like I said. Next thing you want to do is go to draft settings, add supplemental draft. I skipped ahead a little bit, but this is where you set the order. The order does not matter. It does in the first 3 picks, right? So how many orphans there are, you spin a wheel app, you post a video in there so they can see that you're not picking the order yourself. So, Gillespie got 1, Geo got 2, Z got 3, so you put them in that order. The rest of the draft picks for the league not involved don't matter. You will be trading all of these to those teams. You got to do some math and kind of figure out how many picks they're going to need to get it done. But let's just say in a perfect 12-team league, it'd be 4 picks per round. So you would do however many rounds you need to get all of their roster spots filled. The next step after this is we're going to go into edit rosters, and this is where we're going to set the draft order. This is a little weird of a process. You have to look at the order, and you want it to be reverse snake draft. So, 1, 2, 3, my team, Jordo, had picked 4. So the third team in the draft, get Z, will get my pick. So then it'll be 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. That's the order you want to follow. Just like any normal snake draft. So again, Gallo has pick 5, so he's going to get pick 2. Geo is going to hit Gallo's pick 5. And then you just manually assign all of this. So then Jelly has pick 6 and 7. So he'll get Dawes' pick, which is pick 6, and he'll get Ben's pick, which is pick 7. And you would follow this process all the way through. In a 12-team league, you can assign all the picks for pick 4 to the team that gets, that's basically pick 4 is essentially round 2, pick 1, right? And then because it's only 3-player rounds. So you would just have to go through and do this. Like I said, it's a lot easier in a 12 team because the order just stays the same. So, 1, 2, 3 through 2, 1. So whoever has the fourth pick, all of his picks go to the guy that has third pick. Fifth pick, all the picks go to the second guy. 6 and 7 all go to the first guy. 8 goes to 2. 9 and 10 go to 3. 11 goes to 2, and 12 goes to 1. And then that'll just reverse at the second round. It'll just go all the way through. It seems a little confusing for the time being, and it's a little more difficult in the 10 team. You have to kind of sit down and write out the draft order on a piece of paper to get it done. This is a little preview of what it will look like when it is all said and done. So you see Jelly, GOZ. This is kind of the player pool too. So this is it's a pretty good player pool, right, to draft from. You got to kind of ignore the quarterbacks. I did an auto draft on this league, so the pool is a little deeper than it normally is because the computer didn't pick, 5 quarterbacks for any of the rosters. But all in all, this is what it's going to look like. So, the reverse is order. So you see Jelly, GOZ. So 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. That's the order you want to follow in any snake draft. Doesn't matter how many teams, doesn't matter how many rounds. You just go in order pick by pick. You might have to write it down on Excel. That's what I do if it's not a 12-team league. It makes it a lot easier. All of this stuff will not affect anything else in the league. Once the draft is over, you can set up a new window and set up your rookie draft with all of the picks. The other thing that is important to remember is you should do this before a rookie draft, obviously, because the draft picks are going to be included in the supplemental draft, right? I'm kind of just showing you here how to, in a 10-team league, how the order will kind of look. It'll be a little bit different. There's 2 options. You can send picks to rosters or assign picks to rosters from that team's roster. Whatever way you prefer to do it is fine. But as you can see, we finished the order. So 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. And then this is another example of what we should be doing with the draft picks. So you want to set up a template. That way the commissioner does not have to sit through the entire draft and people don't lose track of the kickers. So let's say 101, 102, and 105. Those are the draft picks. Every team has their picks. What we'll do is we'll make a tiered list. So basically we'll do this. We'll pin it in the chat. And then every time someone takes a kicker, what it'll be is their job to add the name to the order. So the first kicker off the board, let's say Z takes it, right? So Z will come in and he'll just add his name to 101. Let's say Z decides to take the next kicker off the board as well. Z can end up with 102. So basically that's how we'll do it. And at the end of the draft, what we will do is go in and move all of these picks to the teams that picked them in the setup. Thanks for watching.